What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Episode 17. We're a little different today. Earlier, Nairn's going on vacation.
New environment.
Same stuff.
Morning.
Yeah. Great day, though. Sunday.
I was thinking on the way over here that I had to warm up my
vocal cords.
Voice.
Yeah. Usually you don't start yelling until, 12 at the TV?
Yeah.
Or at your guys?
Maybe
Try
12,
to motivate?
maybe 12-10.
Yeah. Let them
give them a little bit, see what they got that day.
Yeah. It is different. It's different. But it's good. And we're here. We're live.
That's right. So we're going to jump into it.
Yep. Minnesota Vikings on a bye this week. They play the Raiders next week. Gopher basketball plays this is Sunday, so today at Ohio State, and then Nebraska on Wednesday. T-Wolves staying hot. They're 15-4. They're playing the Spurs, Grizzlies, and Pelicans coming up, and then the Minnesota Wild 2-game win streak after firing their coach. They're playing the Blackhawks today, Flames and Canucks coming up.
Isn't that funny how it works?
Fire your coach? Which one? Wild?
The Wild. Yeah,
that is kind of crazy.
How can you lose that many games in a row and then you get a new coach?
I just don't get it.
Well, so
is it like a change of scenery?
I think Josh was explaining it a little bit to me, or to the guys that were at the Wolves game last week.
Yeah.
He said that this was who they wanted, the GM wanted to hire as their head coach, but he got, the other guy was already here or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so then now it's actually the guy that this guy wanted.
Which is crazy.
And now, 2-0.
Hey, yeah, gotta take it. It is kind of crazy though, and I only watch hockey a little bit, and I know there's maybe some plays and stuff.
Very few.
But I just feel like hockey is more just okay, you have a bunch of skilled players, they just do what they do. You can't really set up plays unless you're on the power play. It's 5-on-5.
I think they set up plays. We're two non-hockey guys, but
that's true. We would have to talk to a hockey guy.
But I think they actually do set up plays.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where it's yeah. And maybe it's just a change. They needed something different in the locker room. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's crazy, though.
I like it.
All right. Hit it off, huh?
Yeah, let's go round table.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's do college basketball first.
Okay.
So, Saturday. So last weekend, Saturday, Vermont was playing. They've had a lot of success lately. And the funny thing about their conference is the high seed always hosts the conference tournament, right? The number one seed always hosts the conference tournament. So whenever we get to March and we're seeing videos of the smaller conferences, it's always at Vermont. I think they've hosted literally the last 5 years that I can remember. Mm-hmm. And so
they've always made the tournament. They're pretty decent. They're always a team that's hey, watch out because they can get hot.
Yeah, because they're always the number one seed in their conference tournament. So they're legit. Mm-hmm. And so on Saturday they were playing a game and they were down by 5, and the clock was running down. They make a layup with about 3 seconds left to go down 3, mm-hmm. but they don't have the ball, so they need to do something. I'm pretty sure it went down to 2 or 1 second.
I think it was 1 point something because it was a fade.
1 second. So 1 second when the layup went in, mm-hmm. and then they draw an offensive foul on the inbound. So then they get the ball underneath with a second left.
Down 3.
Yep. They throw it in, gets fouled, makes the 3, banks it in. Mm-hmm. So they tie it up, and then he makes the free throw to win by 1 point.
Here's a crazy thing though, and maybe this is bad, maybe this is dumb, but and I understand. Okay, the guy, I didn't really see the game, but maybe it was the offensive foul was maybe a flop, whatever. But why don't you just chuck it down the court? Once someone touches it, they would have to make a half quarter. Also, why are you fouling him? Let him make the 3.
That's what Kyle Anderson did for the Wolves.
Chucked it down the court?
No, he literally. So we had the ball inbounding on the offensive end, and it was when we were playing the Warriors. And he literally threw it right into Chris Paul at the free throw line. So he threw a 3/4 court shot.
Right.
And missed it, thank goodness. It was kind of close. But
still, if he makes that, that's a lot more unlikely than a turnaround 3-pointer, I think. And also, why are you fouling him? Don't even guard him. I know it's part of it, but come on. That's bad.
It's hard in the moment.
Yeah. Obviously, hindsight 2020 now, looking back, where it's you fouled him and he banked in the 3.
Well, I mean, there's so many things that had to go right because
Right.
I mean,
the offensive foul.
yeah, the offensive foul, that one is like the one that you can control more than a guy banking in a three. I mean,
Right.
yes, you can be a little off him and not foul him, but like banking in a three on a catch and shoot from underneath out of bounds on like the left wing
Right.
is
Pretty
a pretty unrealistic shot.
Yeah. That's
So-
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also in college basketball,
Mhm.
this is bigger. I mean, two top 5 teams lose. Purdue loses to Northwestern.
Yeah, I think
We'll cover it later, but I'm just saying.
Mhm.
There's madness happening right now, and it's December.
yeah, it's good.
It's good. No, it's
That makes it fun.
it just shows how there's so much skill throughout the whole. Every game matters.
That's right.
So
Let's go to college football.
go ahead. Oh, yeah, this is what you were.
Championship weekend was this weekend. So last weekend for all of you listeners.
We're also not going to talk about the college football playoff.
We're not going
That's
to.
next week.
Yep, because there's
That's also coming in.
we've talked about it enough, and it's
Yeah.
literally the exact same situation that we were
Discussing.
that we were expecting was going to happen. To
Right.
be quite frank.
The only one thing that would be different is if Florida State would have somehow lost. That would have made it a lot easier. Now that they won, it makes it twice as hard.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
But-
But so the college football championship weekend was very interesting because it was literally the biggest offensive games were all at the beginning, and then the biggest defensive games were all at the end. And so it was set up for disaster because everybody's watching the Oregon-Washington game on Friday night, the Texas game early on Saturday,
Mhm.
the Georgia-Alabama game early afternoon Saturday,
Mhm.
and all these teams are scoring a bunch of points. The games are very high scoring and like offensive focused, and then it literally gets to the end of Saturday, and none of these teams can move the ball and do anything on offense. I mean, even including Michigan, their first half wasn't great. Like obviously they won handily.
Yeah,
But-
and I think I will say this about the Michigan game. Like Iowa's defense is very good. Don't get me wrong; their defense is always very good. But the problem with it is it's Big Ten football. That game should be played at 11 o'clock
Yeah.
because, no offense, you're never going to score 40 points
Yeah.
when you have. I mean, maybe next year or maybe when the new teams come in, sure. But the highest scoring game was going to be Michigan Ohio State, and that was played last week.
Mhm.
So, and then obviously the Louisville Florida State game was just. I mean, Louisville's dog water, and then Florida State lost their quarterback. So, and they played their third string quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
So it was like,
We
dude,
only
what are we
had,
doing?
Like 8 pass attempts or 8 completions? It
I
was
don't-
one of the two.
The game was 3-3 at halftime. I'm pretty sure. 3-3 at halftime. No, 3-0 at halftime.
Yeah, 8 completions, 21 attempts.
Yeah, the other dude was 14 of 36.
That's bad.
I mean, and like
Truly,
I said, we're
the
not
only
talking
reason
about
the only reason why Florida State like scored and won was because they had a 72-yard run.
it. Right. Well, and I think the hard part is, and I get it, Louisville deserves it. It's so hard. But now you look at like the ACC, it's like, if Clemson isn't good at football, Florida State's great. That's the only good team now. I mean, I'm not saying Clemson's bad, but like Louisville looked awful. That was horrible. You're the second best team in that conference?
Yeah, I think they're hoping that Miami gets better.
Yeah, I guess we'll hope. We'll wait and see. Yeah, I mean North Carolina was projected decent too. So
Yeah, they've
But-
had some good seasons.
yeah. Last thing or my thing, NFL Thursday night football game. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
0 punts, 0. First time since 2021.
It's
0
like
punts.
It's like a new scoregami.
It's almost better. 0 punts over 22 penalties combined. Brutal, terrible. It just makes the game not fun. And I know I was talking to some of our other friends about this. It just is so hard to watch now with referees and with games like that because it's like they throw it up. It's a terrible pass, not catchable. 10 yards. I was talking about this. There was a play with CeeDee Lamb. He threw it and it hit the, like, you know where the fans sit on the lower level? It hit that little thing. And CeeDee Lamb was complaining about a penalty and they threw a flag for pass interference. That ball was 10 yards out of bounds. I don't care who you are. You can't jump and catch that.
Yeah,
That's
that's out.
uncatchable. So that, I mean, I just think they need to do a better job. Like, oh, he impeded his route. The ball was thrown away.
So how many? There were 25.
Over 22 penalties. I stopped keeping track. I could
All right.
look for it exactly. That is mind blowing.
You know it's bad when they make a note and mention that they're approaching the most penalty yards in a game of all time.
Yeah, and 0 punts. How do you not have a punt?
Yeah, so here's the question. Would you rather have more punts but less penalties?
Oh.
Or would you rather keep it as is?
No, I would rather have it be that because some of these penalties literally set up touchdowns that should not have been touchdowns.
All right, so we'll just say 25 penalties, probably around there.
Yeah, I don't even know how you check penalty. They don't even have that stat on here.
Yeah, that's probably better.
But you see punting, nothing.
So
good day for the punters. Got paid.
We'll just say there's 25 punts. So
25 punts or
25
penalties.
25 penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah. For every 5 penalties, you get 3 punts on each side. Would you go down to 20 penalties and
do more punts?
6 punts?
Well, I think it changes the script of the game. So yeah, I think so. Because some of these penalties literally set up. They were on 3rd downs, and they literally set up. They were like 3rd and 10 penalty, 1st down.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, and it's like I've said this before, and I don't want to keep.
Probably the reason why it's high scoring game.
Yeah, but it's just so hard because it's like, dude, playing cornerback is already impossible. You don't know where the guy's going, and so if I'm standing here and backpedaling and the wide receiver runs into me, how is that a penalty on me? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be there.
So I just got to move out of his way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
pretty much.
So that was crazy. I mean, hopefully, obviously, I would say on the offensive end, probably one of the more exciting Thursday night games.
Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, unless you had the fantasy defenses for these teams, the Cowboys, that was probably tough, but everyone else played good.
I mean, I watch football because I want to see points and offensive firepower.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to watch it for defensive slugfests.
Yeah, but penalties get annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's annoying. But it is what it is. So.
Yep, there you go. All right. Let's move on. Seltzer time.
Yep, Seltzer time. We're
Part
finishing
2.
up the pack. We have mixed berry. So we're doing the Michelob Ultras. Mixed berry and then organic seltzer. Mango apricot.
They're all organic seltzers, though.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that. I feel like we've done one of these. This sounds familiar, doesn't
Which
it?
one?
Mango apricot.
No.
It's also interesting because it's Sunday at. It's about to hit 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
and the boys are getting after it, I guess. Yeah.
No, we did black cherry.
No, that was last time. I'm saying I think season 1. These sound familiar, but maybe I'm mistaken.
I don't believe so.
Oh shit. So mixed berry, mango apricot. I mean, they're just.
Which one do you think is gonna be better?
Well, mixed berry has a little color.
It's like yellow.
Yeah, kind of looks like. Yeah, yellow.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's actually really weird.
Because I don't think the other two were any color.
No, the black cherry was a reddish tint. A light reddish tint.
Oh, so let's start with.
I don't understand why it's yellow though. It's like a white wine. To be
Chardonnay. No, what is it? Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc. With the.
Yeah, with the hockaloo.
All right, which one are we doing?
All right, we're gonna try the mango apricot. So doesn't smell like anything, to be honest.
I think it smells more than
the last two, but not really a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
You like it?
I'm just saying okay because I think there's a little bit of flavor. I can definitely taste. There's a hint of mango, but I can taste a little apricot. I can taste a little something. I would assume it's apricot. I don't know the last time I had one.
Well, are you sensing another fruit test?
No, I don't know. Is this an apricot or not an apricot? You might have to do that. Yeah, I think it's okay though. I mean, like I said, these ones are literally we've talked about it last time. Not a lot of flavor, but
yeah,
easy to drink. Not
it's
a lot of carbonation.
Like
it's like water.
Sparkling water with a little hint of something.
It's like those videos where people make mimosas and they pour all the champagne and then they pour a drop of orange juice. Mm-hmm. It's like that. This is the drop.
Kinda, yeah. That's actually, yeah, I like that.
It's decent. So yeah, I don't think it's bad.
It makes it hard to
rate them
because it's like, I mean, there's no flavor,
mm-hmm.
and so it's like we're not rating it on if we like the flavor or don't like the flavor.
There's no flavor.
There's not much to say, so it's like, well, we could drink these.
This almost would be fair to say, now that we've tried the whole pack. I'm granted, once we get to the last one, maybe say this, but like these could almost just be flat, like 6s. Like our flat, just average number because they all just are like,
yeah.
Like there's no Like you know how some packs have like, okay, the flavor, the lime one is good, or the lemon one is good, whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
there's usually one that's like, oh, that one's
pretty good.
better.
And then there's one that's usually like, no.
That ain't it.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right, what do you
Yeah,
got?
I'm gonna give it a 5-5. So I think I went up last week. I do think the one last week. What was the last one? The last one we did.
The black cherry.
Black cherry.
And the.
Wasn't there like a lemon one? No, it was a yellow case, wasn't it?
It was a. I didn't know.
Citrus. No, citrus.
Citrus, yeah.
I think they were okay, but I mean, like you said, these literally taste the same. Maybe the next one, because it has a little color, will be better.
The black cherry one did have more flavor, I think.
And it had a little color.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to give it a 4-7.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it's just like, eh.
I don't know.
I don't know what to explain. I mean,
there was a lot of numbers going through my mind, but it was hard to pick one. Yeah.
So. All right.
Mixed berry.
Mixed berry. So if you do smell this, it does smell more.
It smells like mixed berry. There was a little smell on the last one, which I know we said it. It always gives you false hope because you're like, ooh, this is gonna taste exactly how it smells.
I will say
it doesn't.
Maybe my taste buds are bad. This one has decent flavor. I can tell that's mixed berry or some kind of berry. Like I'm getting like a little blueberry-ish raspberry vibe. It has something.
I think there's more flavor.
Yeah. It's not better. It's just more
I
flavor.
actually think that I like the ones with less flavor.
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying there's more flavor.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Kind of hard, but...
That's a weird concept. It's like, well, we like the ones that don't have as much flavor. I don't think
I guess we like more water.
I don't know if that's what they want.
No, I don't think you really want that at all. So, yeah. That one actually, I think is... In my opinion, this one is actually worse than the other one. Not by a lot, though.
It's growing on me a little bit.
I'm saying not a little bit, or not a lot, but it's definitely a little worse, I think.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a 5-3. Just a little worse. Not a lot worse, just a little worse.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 4-9.
Yeah, so right above. You went the opposite.
Yeah.
So there it is. Bang, bang.
All right, so we got in the pack. We did the black cherry first, didn't we?
Yep, black cherry.
So black cherry was the 5-5-3-7 for you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was 6-3-5-2. So that second one was the best.
So, like you just said, the ones that had more flavor, like we said, were the black cherry, and they were worse.
Mm-hmm. And then today's were, what was that? Mango apricot?
Yeah, mango apricot was the second one.
Mango apricot.
Oh, that's the first one. And then mixed berry.
5-5 for you, 4-7 for me, and then the mixed berry was 5-3-4-9. So your scores are 5-5, 6-3, 5-5, 5-3.
So probably around a 5-7, 5-8 for the whole pack.
5, 6,
a little below
5,
6.
7.
Yeah.
And then mine were 3-7, 5-2, 4-7, 4-9. So mine's probably a 4-7.
4-7, 4-8, yeah. Right around.
So mine's 4-7, yours 5-7?
Yep.
Or so?
Which is usually probably on our scales, probably pretty close for the Seltzer scales.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, decent.
Pretty typical.
I mean, not bad, but...
All right, there you go. So if you're looking for something that's easy to drink and like water, this one might actually be your cup of tea.
Right. They're very easy to drink. And maybe if low-cal...
That's
Maybe if you have to run a beer mile, you could do seltzers and you could use these.
Oh.
So, wow.
It's an interesting thought.
So, all right. And that's what they call?
A review.
Bang. All right. What are we starting with? NBA?
Yeah, we're going to start NBA.
So,
we talked about the in-season tournament.
Yep.
And now it's getting into the bracket play.
Yep.
Which is an interesting conversation because, one, the Celtics played the Bulls in their last in-season tournament group play game.
Mm-hmm.
They had to win by a lot, like 23.
I think it was either 22 or 23 or more, yeah.
Yeah, they had to win by 23 plus, and they were beating the Bulls because the Bulls suck by over 30.
Jesus.
They do.
Okay, yeah.
They're literally the fourth worst team in the East.
Yeah. I mean, 2 games out of playoff contention, but yes, I agree. They're not great.
Well, basically everybody makes the playoffs now with the 10 out of 15 in each conference. Anyways, So the Celtics were beating them by over 30, and they were fouling.
There was still like 6 or 7
intentional
minutes
fouling.
left.
Yeah,
It was a decent
intentional
one.
fouling. Andre Drummond on the Bulls because he's an awful free throw shooter. He's like a career 60% free throw shooter, and this year he's shooting worse than that.
Yeah,
like 50 something.
And I mean, I've said this all the time. Like, you would think from an outside view, you'd be like, okay, just work on more free throws or do whatever. But
I
also,
think Rudy Gobert's better than that, and he's awful.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is like I don't think we ever realize how big their hands are compared to that basketball.
Yeah.
It's like us shooting a mini ball into one of those hoops. Like that's how big their hands are.
And you feel weird shooting it because it's like so small compared to our normal hands.
Yeah, like you watch Rudy Gobert, like his fingers are almost 3/4 around the whole ball, which helps him normally, obviously, but it's like shooting probably not great.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. So there was some backlash on playing all their guys fouling at the end, knowing they're up 30 because they wanted to win by enough to make the bracket play.
Mm-hmm.
So, thoughts on that?
Well, I think we talked about this a little bit, but I think it's one of those things where since it's the first year, I think people are still getting used to it. Mm-hmm. But I think it's very interesting when players come out and players even say like, yeah, it felt really weird to be up 30. Because a reporter asked Drew Holiday, and he was like, were you weird? He's like, yeah, that was weird, and like I don't necessarily respect it, like with the game.
Yeah, but then he's all about respect.
No, like, when a lot of these older guys are. Yeah, a lot of these older guys are. And let's be honest with each other. There's 82 games. They don't want to play like if they don't have to. They want to rest. Right. They don't care. Like
especially because they're probably playing in a day or two.
Right, against a team that they have to play the majority of the minutes. Yeah. And so when they can take a break, they want to take a break. But and then obviously same game there was against, like you said, the Bulls, and the coach Billy Donovan was kind of like, okay, I guess I get it, but he wasn't happy with it.
No, I wasn't happy.
But it's also like, but then we talked about
with the fouling.
Yeah, the fouling thing. Like, if you play your starters and you beat us, sure. But if you play, and also here's the question. Here's the thing. You got up by 30 with your starters in the game. If your starters are still in the game, most of the Bulls probably aren't going to play their starters if they're down 30. So
I wouldn't.
Your starters should smoke their backups, right? If you're playing your starters, you should still be able to score without fouling.
And your team's already better.
So I think that's kind of maybe it'll get better down the road, or maybe next year if they do it again, whatever, because it's like, hey, we're used to it. But I still think it'll feel weird for a lot of players being like, I don't like playing with 10 minutes left or with 6 minutes left and we're up 35. And it'd feel weird running up and down, like fast breaking. Like that's like, when traveling basketball, like they're like, hey, you can't press.
20 points.
You can't press.
Limit or whatever.
Running clock, can't press.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it is weird, but I think like we talked about, here's the other aspect of it. The Timberwolves didn't make it.
Right. We still went 3-1.
Which was great. Your record increases. And now, these teams that made the in-season tournament, sure, you might get a little bit more money. Sure, you might get a trophy.
Only if you win.
You now have to play a lot better teams than the other dog crap teams you might play.
Yeah. In theory,
it was great for the Timberwolves. Well, I get the money aspect of it, but also at the same time, if it's $100,000, no offense, these guys make that pretty easily.
Yeah.
I get it for some players, but
it's kind of, it depends on which group you're in.
Yeah.
Two, there are good teams that didn't make the bracket. So I would consider the Sixers pretty good team.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? Like they went 2-2, so they're not in it. The Cavs, pretty good team, I think you could say. The Heat are decent. The Magic have been playing really well, and so
OKC is a good team.
Yeah, like OKC, Denver didn't make it. Dallas has been playing pretty well. The Clippers are starting maybe to figure it out, and so there's teams that didn't make it.
I mean, there's only 8 teams. Yeah, that made
8 teams total for each conference. So there, it's like okay, it's 4 out of the 15 versus the actual playoffs, which is 10 out of the 15, right? And so there are teams that are good that didn't make it. So not everybody's going to be in the same situation as the Wolves, where we're playing 2 of the worst teams in the league, because
we benefited.
We did benefit. However, if we would have, so I don't know if we said it before, but the scheduling at the beginning of the year, everybody was scheduled 80 games, and then based off if they made the in-season tournament or not, or the bracket play or not, then every team was added 2 games
Yep.
Right. And
Right.
so
I think we did mention that. Or, yeah.
depending on which teams in your conference you only play 3 times versus 4, then that's the group of teams that they chose from to add the 2 games. So we didn't play the Spurs 4 times and we didn't play the Grizzlies 4 times. So like if we'd have made the bracket play, then we're at a double loss because we're probably playing better teams in the bracket, but also we don't get to play 2 of the worst teams a full allotment of games, right? That's so tough. Like it's a double benefit for us, but some other teams, they might have to play the Thunder and the Nuggets for their 2 games, and they're just like, well, this isn't good.
Yeah, I think that's good. I guess for the Timberwolves' sake, yeah, you'd have to look at schedule to schedule.
Here's a question. So do you know, and you might not know, but because they based it off of the in-season tournaments that happen in soccer.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Where like you have these tournaments going on in kind of like parallel with the actual season.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So that's what they based it off of. Do you know if say Manchester United, they lose in like the second round.
Yeah.
They don't add games because they're out, right?
I don't think so. I think it's just a longer break.
It's only the teams that keep winning, they keep playing games.
Right.
But if you lose, then you don't add games to like make it even.
Right. So yeah, because it was kind of similar to, I think that's accurate. I would have to confirm with like a soccer guy, but like from what I understand is like the MLS tournament when they did that in like Miami won. Like Miami kept playing, but like the Minnesota United didn't add games that they wanted to ahead. What they might have done is they might have said, okay, the schedule is gonna, because there's always that weird gap like in the MLS that's like they take a month off for these tournaments. So like I think if you're winning, you're still playing, but if you're losing, you just basically don't have the game in that month.
See, that's the aspect where I think that
this would have to learn
from. This is the first time, so they're trying to figure it out as they go.
It's basically like a double All-Star break without the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Right, if you get like 2 or 3 weeks off.
And so that's where the bigger benefit could be for some of the better teams. Like, okay, we went 3-1 in our group. We didn't make it to the bracket play, but now we have this additional time off where we don't have to play games.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that could be a benefit. I mean, technically, so the bracket starts this week or like the past couple days.
Yeah. And
so the bracket plays on Monday and Tuesday. And it's 2 games on each day. So it's, 2, 4. Yeah.
It's 2 games Monday,
yep.
2 games
so
Tuesday.
Yeah, 2 games Monday, 2 games Tuesday. And then everybody else that didn't make the bracket plays on Wednesday. And then I believe it's on Friday.
Everyone plays Friday again.
Yeah, so
Thursday is the game.
Thursday is the semifinals. And then Friday is everybody else.
And then the championship Saturday.
So this week, right? You could have, if you didn't make the bracket, you could play Wednesday and Friday. That's it.
Right. So it's just a longer break.
That's nice. Whereas,
no one plays today either. Sunday. This is Sunday now. No one plays Sunday.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more of a
break.
break.
This week is weird in the NBA.
Yeah, I think the difference too, and I guess the MLS season might be a little. They probably don't play as many games, obviously, than 82. But like,
they're like putting random people in games too.
Well, that's the thing. What's crazy? I mean, this, like I said, it's a great idea. I think there's a lot of like fixing up. I think it's just to try to get more viewership and be like, hey, these are going to be, because like you look at these games now, these are pretty competitive games. I mean, they should be. And so I think it's trying to get new viewership. I think it's a great idea, but there's still a lot of tweaks that need to be made.
What would be your number 1 tweak for next year?
There would have to be more of an incentive to win, because like you said, if we do it where like, let's say you don't make it and you get a week off, well, all these teams like the Celtics aren't going to try. The Sixers aren't going to try. They want that week off. So I think there has to be an incentive more than money and like that. You have to be able to, but I don't know how you do the incentive.
But I think that it would be similar to the regular season where teams wouldn't be trying to run up the score to increase their point differential.
Yeah. So it'd be more just record based?
Well, I mean, I think you would have more teams trying to fall into the category of the Wolves where you win 3 out of 4 games in the pool but don't make it onto the bracket.
Right.
And so if you're winning, you wouldn't see a situation where the Celtics are playing all their guys up 30 with 5 minutes left.
Right. The hard part is the hardest part is if there's only 8 teams that make it, it's hard to like incentivize someone. I don't know how you incentivize all the teams to try, because like you said, I mean, if you're Boston, or like you said with the Timberwolves, like if you're the Timberwolves, you got the best part of the deal. You went 3-1,
Mm-hmm.
your record's great, and now hypothetically speaking, you played 2 of the worst teams in our conference.
Yeah.
So you should go 2-0. You just went 5-1 without having to travel to Vegas, without having to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. It would be fun, but it's also like one of those things where like I don't know how you incentivize these guys to do that. Like you're playing a better team.
It's hard to incentivize with money for
money
guys
doesn't
that
matter.
make a lot of money.
Well, it's like these guys don't care. Well, I shouldn't say they don't care. Money is not the end. Like money is not what they're driving. They're already getting contracts for $10 million, $30 million. So you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you do it. I mean, it would be interesting. I think it's a cool idea. I don't know.
We'll see what changes they
Yeah, we'll see what changes, because you kind of have to. Because
you know that there's going to be changes.
Yeah, I mean, because it's hard, because it's like this is the same teams, like the Bucks, and depending on whoever. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. It's fun.
That's right. Alrighty, college basketball.
Yeah, last thing on NBA, the Pistons are on a 17-game losing streak.
Yeah, they're bad.
Oh my god! And the Spurs are on 14. Yeah, we'll talk about that a different day. But
yeah, a lot of the bad teams are bad.
It's crazy.
All right, college basketball upset Saturday, last Saturday.
Yeah, makes it exciting though.
It's heating up.
It is heating up, and I mean it's heating up fast. I mean you have Marquette losing.
Yeah, continue your thought from the round table.
Oh, so like Marquette losing to Wisconsin.
Marquette was number 3.
Number 3 played well. They actually lost by double digits, which was crazy. Villanova. This is Villanova's second or third loss, I think. And they lost to Drexel. Duke lost to Georgia Tech. Kentucky lost to UNCW. So I think it's one of those things that we've talked about. Obviously, all these great teams are going to have games where they just kind of flounder or kind of struggle. But it always seems like towards the end of the year, they start to pick it up and go. Losing at the beginning of the year, we've talked about for all sports, is a lot better than losing at the end. But like, is this like a huge hurdle? Like when you look at it, like Villanova losing to Drexel, Marquette losing to Wisconsin. Like maybe Wisconsin's better, but like UNCW, Kentucky. Like I just don't. I mean, I get it. You have games, but those games were at home. Villanova was at home. Kentucky was at home. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Kentucky's trying to figure it out. They didn't have DJ Wagner, who was the number 1.
Was he hurt?
Top 5 recruit in the country. In times, he was the number 1 recruit.
Yeah.
So he didn't play. I mean, they've looked better than I thought they were going to.
Well, they looked really good against.
They played Kansas tough.
No, and who they just beat at home too, pretty handily. A ranked team, like maybe Thursday. Beat them easily. I'm trying to think of who the team is. I can't even think of the team. Maybe Wednesday night.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Villanova lost to St. Joseph too. I'll have to look it up and get back to you. Oh, and Duke lost again to Arkansas. So Duke's lost twice now. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, but so I think Kentucky's still trying to figure it out. I mean, it's reasonable to think that they're still trying to figure it out, even though they've looked better than
Miami
you might have thought.
Beat by 22 points at home. Miami.
Oh, yeah.
So
see, there you go.
It's a top 10 team.
So they're still working through some things, and they will for the first half of the season.
Well, we've always talked about Kentucky. At least I've always mentioned it. They always seem like at the beginning of the year, or even towards the middle, they flounder a little bit, and then one game flips a switch, and they beat a team or play a team hard, and then they just roll into the tournament.
Yeah.
And it's always the hardest part about them is every year it's the same thing. They have so many young new guys that the first part of the year they're trying to gel, and then also at the same time they're also good. They all want the ball because they were all superstars in high school or top recruits.
And UNC Wilmington, like they've had success lately, and so I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, they probably have a number of veterans on their squad that have played a good amount of years with them, and so it's not somebody who's going to be super nervous about playing at Kentucky. You know, like that's what you need if you're a mid-major going to a big-time place and playing a ranked team.
Rupp Arena. It's a tough place to play.
Yeah, and so, I mean, for moving on to, like, Duke, they lost, what did they lost
Arkansas.
2 now?
They lost to Arkansas, and then they just lost to Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Both on the road.
So, I mean, they had, I believe Tyrese Proctor got hurt that game. which is not good. So we'll see if he's out for a long time, or I don't really know. I just know that he got hurt. So we'll, I think that would be a big time loss for them.
Yeah. It also is kind of crazy. I'm
He's
reading
like a top 15 pick in the mock drafts.
The UNCW coach was actually in 2007 the Gardner-Webb point guard who upset Kentucky in Kentucky. It was their first loss, Kentucky's first loss at home in 3 years. His last name's Siddle. Siddle scored Takeo Siddle.
No, don't know.
So and he's the coach and he played. So I mean, and it's kind of funny in here. He said the one thing I told the guys was it's just going to be super loud.
Oh, really?
So you have to get ready.
A lot of good views there.
Yeah, so that's crazy though. I mean, Duke's one of those teams too. I mean, even watching Duke, like yes, they're Duke. They still have a lot to figure out.
Yeah, they do.
A lot to figure out. So it'll be interesting to see how they can kind of gel and come together. But
so, which loss do you think was the worst from this last weekend? Kentucky's loss, Duke's loss, or Marquette's loss?
I think Marquette's loss.
You think?
No, Wisconsin's
playing
a good team.
at Wisconsin.
I actually think I'll go Purdue's loss on Friday at Northwestern.
Oh, that's right.
They lost to Northwestern by 4. Especially because I think a lot of people now have. I mean, you look at this Purdue team, they have a lot of remaining guys, but they're also a team that got bounced right away last year in the tournament. So now
they have basically all the guys that played last year except for I think one guy.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, and they were the team that got bounced. So now you're kind of like, oh, is this going to happen again? Is this?
But Northwestern is good. I mean, they're 6-1 overall.
Right, but you're the number 1 team. You are supposed to be the team.
Yeah,
and 6-1.
It was at Northwestern.
Pause. 6-1, but look at their schedule. Come on, it's the Big Ten schedule. They're not going to play nobody.
Like, come on, look at those teams.
Dayton, decent.
Okay, so one decent team. You go through the schedule.
It's not great.
There's a reason they're 6-1.
Yeah, they've played every game at home so far.
Yeah,
unless they played in a
neutral site or a tournament thing.
Yeah,
yeah. But I think it's crazy.
Possible.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things when you look at it. It's like the Purdue loss will kind of be a shot. I mean, it just depends how these teams will turn around. I think when you look at Duke losing two of their last 2. Mm-hmm. That's probably more hurtful. And if your point guard's hurt,
Duke's, he plays 2 for them.
Oh, their shooting guard, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think. I mean, they'll try and figure. The conference season started literally on Saturday.
Yeah.
For most teams, and so it's going to be a long time for that. Like they have time to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's kind of great too, though, where it shows. So, like, it's the first game of the tournament, or the first game of your conference. Northwestern beats Purdue, so now that gives Northwestern confidence. It makes the Big Ten look better. Mm-hmm. And now you're kind of sitting here saying, like, oh, and maybe if you're Purdue, it's a wake-up call to be like, hey, every game is very important.
Yeah.
Obviously, and, like, you watch college basketball, we've talked about this in previous episodes with, like, spreads. If the college basketball game is on the road, the spread is so much different than if it's at home.
Yeah.
Like the Gophers, like if the Gophers are playing
and sometimes
at home,
it doesn't make any sense, but then somehow
they
cover.
It's like the Gophers are playing, let's say, Michigan State at home, and they're like 3.5 point favorites. But then if it was at Michigan State, it'd be like 13.5.
Yeah.
Like where's the 10-point difference?
Right.
But like you said, sometimes you just ride that momentum of playing in front of your home crowd, and obviously the arena.
You need a arena that has a home crowd. Like
right.
Well,
the Gophers is
the barn ain't bringing in a good crew on the.
That's a terrible example.
In the stands,
yeah.
So that.
Well, like these teams are like. I mean, I bet you that Northwestern game was packed. Kansas is always packed.
Yeah.
I mean, Duke's always packed. It's just like.
Yeah. Thoughts on the Friday game, UConn at Kansas.
Oh, I thought it was actually great. I think Kansas is very good.
I think big time game.
I think here's what's crazy is this Kansas. I mean, their conference is very tough. They've already played 3 top 10 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they played Marquette and they played Tennessee, which were in the tournament, but like now playing UConn. Granted, that was at home, which definitely helped. Mm-hmm. But UConn's a good team too. I mean, But you're playing 3 top 10 teams already. And didn't you play? Who was your first game of the year against? Kentucky.
Well, they played in the Champions Classic.
Yeah, who did they play though?
So they beat Kentucky. They lost to Marquette. They beat Tennessee. They beat UConn.
Yeah, I mean, so that Tennessee game
think if they would have beat Marquette.
Well, they'd be number 1 for sure. I mean, easily. They might still be.
They were already number 1. They were number 1.
And then they dropped to 4.
Yeah,
but they might even jump up now because who's number 2?
Number 2.
I can't think of number 2. It's not Houston.
No, Houston's 6.
Who is number 2?
It would have to be
Why can't
Texas.
Why can't I think of who's number 2? What's Arizona? And Arizona's a pretty good team.
Yeah, they just won.
But what I'm saying is Purdue's going to fall. The hard part is all this movement at the beginning. I mean, it doesn't matter until you start playing conference play, and then
you know that they're going to move around.
Oh, everybody should, yeah. I mean, all these teams, because you're still trying to feel them out.
But I was going to say, so imagine if Kansas beat Marquette that game,
Mm-hmm.
then they would have played Purdue.
Yeah.
So then they would have played Purdue instead of Tennessee. And Tennessee's a good team.
Yeah, Tennessee's kind of slow.
If they would have played Purdue, so then they would have played Marquette, they would have played UConn, and they would have played Purdue. So the only team in the current top 5 that they wouldn't have played yet is Arizona. That would be crazy.
Yeah, and they're good. I mean, Kansas is good. I mean,
that's what I like about basketball is at the beginning of the year they're playing in holiday tournaments where if you schedule it right, then you're gonna play the other good teams. A lot of college football is just playing all these crappy teams at the beginning, and then everything comes down to one game at the end.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh well, if you win, you're in, and if you lose, then sorry, you just played a whole season for nothing.
Yeah. Well, and I also think it's crazy with college basketball. I think like we've talked about is it's one of those things that like at the beginning of the year teams are still trying to gel because most teams have these top recruits coming in or transfer students coming in. And then it's like, okay, it's crazy to see how at the end of the year then, so they might play each other now. They might have to play each other at the end of the year to win the title, which would be even better. But that's why this year, March, I mean, we said last year March is going to be great. I mean, every year now March is going to be great because these guys transfer to these other schools to be the guy at that school. And now they're taking that school. Yeah, there's 100% schools that are better.
Okay, my last question for you on college basketball. So it came out that so Bronny James got cleared to return back to basketball activities, I guess you could say. And LeBron came out and said that the first game that Bronny is able to play, if the Lakers played that day, he'd skip the game. Yep. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't have kids, but it's a little different. But I think for him,
well, you have a little dog now.
Yeah, a little dog, but she won't be going to any games. But okay. I do think, I mean, speaking from him, I think it's totally fine. Also, it might even happen where the games aren't on the same day. And knowing LeBron, it might even happen where the game is during the day and he flies back to, I mean, LA and USC are pretty close.
Correct.
So it's a bus trip away or a helicopter ride away. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, but if
I think knowing LeBron too, well, and to be honest, knowing LeBron, like he can do what he wants.
Exactly.
And skipping one game,
it's a good reason for a game off.
Away. I mean, it's already like the same thing. It's like he's just been very open and he's earned that right to be like, hey, he's already going to take off 20, 30 games a year. Mm-hmm. What's one of those? Throw it in there. He's already played a ton of minutes this year and throw it in. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. And also it's the first your game. Son is this prodigy kid and it's your son. Yeah, go watch him.
I think USC actually needs him.
So. And to be honest, 100% after what happened too, it'd be kind of cool to see him. I mean, it's a cool story. Yeah. Even if you don't like LeBron James, like, you have to respect that he's a family guy. He's going to do what he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to say if you're the Lakers? No? Okay, see ya. Yeah. Like, I'm doing what I want. Right. The thing about it is he's at that position where he says, hey, this is what I'm going to do. It's not even, he doesn't ask. He doesn't have a boss. He doesn't ask anybody. He just says, this is what I'm doing.
It's a very collaborative approach.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's like, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. You don't like it? Okay, so, yep. All right, sounds good. See ya. We'll see you practice the next day? Okay, sure.
And in a lot of situations, that would probably rub some people the wrong way. But since it's LeBron, then it's like, okay.
Everybody on the Lakers is probably like, sounds great. Actually, to be honest.
More time for me, baby.
To be honest, I could actually see it if it's not on a game day. Like if they're playing not on a Lakers game. I could see multiple Lakers going to the game.
1,000%.
I could see them. And they'll all be dressed.
Like the whole squad will
they'll roll up. Yeah, and it'll be like a huge story. And they'll every time they'll pan over to LeBron every time and be like, is Bronny going to get in the game? It's like.
And Carmelo will be there, and Chris
D-Wade might show up.
D-Wade might be there. It's going to be the whole crew.
I know. So, it's pretty cool, though. I mean, it's a pretty cool story, so.
That's right.
It's good that he's back. I mean, it's good that he's back.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right.
That's all I got. Move on to
the final. Oh, I don't have a coin, though.
Oh, no. You got a coin somewhere?
I didn't think about this. I'm going to flip my phone. Heads is the top, tails is the bottom.
Okay.
You guys won't be able to see it, but Naren will be able to see it. Okay.
I'll go top.
That's bottom.
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna go second.
Okay.
1989.
Oh yeah, so we're doing 1989. This is the second to last one. This isn't the last one because we're doing.
Yeah, but no. We're doing something next week.
Yep, we're doing something next week.
Yeah. This is not the last one, but this is the second to last one. You are correct, Chris. Great call. You have a pen? You want me to type them up?
I lost my pen. All right.
We're a disaster here.
My first overall pick is going to be. My first overall pick is going to be. Say Don't Go.
Say Don't Go.
Yeah.
Am I on the right album?
Yeah. I gotta do it. It's a vault song.
Oh, so see, yeah. You love these vaults.
Oh my gosh, that is.
I'm just making sure. Do you have your list? Do you
Yeah.
have? Well, I'm just making sure I'm on the right album because I don't even have that on my top 10.
1989.
Yeah. So my first.
I had to do it. It's my favorite
You
song.
could've got that fourth
I know, but I wanted it number one because that's my favorite one.
Okay, my first pick is going to be Blank Space.
Okay, you can have that. That
And
is
then-
a lot of hype, but that ain't it.
My second one is Style.
Love it. Neither of those are on my top. All right, my next one is going to be All You Had to Do Was Stay. And my third one is going to be. This one might be a personal one. I don't know if it's too mainstream, but I'm going to go with I Know Places. That one
Wait, what
is
going
a
on?
jam.
I'm just making sure I have the right.
No, this is the right
Okay,
album.
because we don't have any of the same ones.
That's good.
I mean, mine might more so be just what I hear on the radio.
Yeah.
But
All right. So what's
my number 3 is Out of the Woods,
okay.
and then my fourth one is going to be Shake It Off.
Okay. Yeah.
So
duh.
the radio ones.
Oh,
Nair's going with all these vault
oh
ones.
my
So
God. No, I only have one vault.
okay, what's your last one?
My last one is Wonderland.
Okay, there it is.
Bada bing.
I didn't write you. You have yours because I don't have any of those. I just
Yeah,
highlighted
I
them.
got all four of my number four. My top
All right,
four.
well, this
I
is
got
what we're gonna
all
do. We're gonna
four.
see what Nair's sister says. Because last week, our friend Andrew Paul had 3 of the 4.
And the funny thing is, the other Swifties that I talked to, had different ones than him.
No,
So-
that's the same.
All right, so a precursor. My sister is a very big Taylor Swift fan.
Mhm.
She's creating a all-time Taylor Swift rankings of all the songs, and so
This could be good.
when you do that, I
Yeah,
think
this
you
is
like
pretty big
Taylor
time.
Swift. And we're also going.
You can talk to your sister.
We're also going to Miami to see Taylor Swift.
Hello.
Hello.
That was him. That was the juice is flowing.
Yeah. All right, you're live on Sippin' Sports,
Yeah.
Lydia.
Oh, nice. Hey.
So we are calling to see what your top 4, fave 4 on 1989 is.
Oh, nice.
And if you need like one, we'll give you one honorable mention if you need it, but then
Yeah.
we want a fave 4.
Okay, cool.
In order, if you have it, preferably.
Yeah, so start with the honorable mention and then go 4 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is hard. I feel like I have 5 favorites, so this is a tough.
Oh, this is perfect then.
That's great. Yeah.
You get 5 with your honorable mention.
Okay, and it's Taylor's version, right?
Obviously.
Obviously. Okay, so number 5 is gonna be Volt Song, which is "Say Don't Go." 'cause
Okay.
I just love.
That's an honorable mention.
That's my honorable mention.
Okay. Thank
Dang,
you.
that was
Nair's number 1
That was
easily.
my number 1.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
For the whole
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My number 4 is "This Love." Just like feels like a hug.
Nope, didn't have that one.
Oh.
Didn't have that at all.
Nope,
Neither.
of us.
Dang. Number 3, "Clean."
Okay.
No.
That's another miss for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Really? You didn't have that one?
Nope.
That's okay.
Well, mine are terrible.
Number 2, "All You Had to Do Was Stay."
Wait. No, this is 3.
No, that was 2.
Oh.
This is 2.
This
Oh
is
yeah.
two.
All right.
Two.
2.
Okay. And then
What? Wait. What was 2?
2 is "All You Had to Do Was Stay."
That was one of Nair's.
Uh huh.
Okay, nice. That's a good one. And then number 1 is "Out of the Woods."
That's number 1.
You had that one.
Stop it.
So you had.
You got that one?
I had 1 and Narum had 1.5.
Oh, nice.
So I had all you had to do was stay, and then the honorable mention. All right, so Dave, tell her your
My
4.
4 are Style,
Uh-huh.
Out of the Woods,
Uh-huh.
Blank Space, and Shake It Off.
Okay.
Horrible. Look
Can
at
you
this.
tell that he just
The radio
a
guy?
mainstream guy?
Pick the top ones. Yeah.
Well, Out of the Woods. Hey, Out of the Woods was her number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take it.
All right, so my 4 were Say Don't Go,
Uh-huh.
All You Had to Do Was Stay,
Yeah.
I Know Places, Low Key
Okay.
Banger,
Uh-huh.
and then Wonderland because of the chorus.
Wonderland.
Yeah.
Wonderland is like my gym song.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Good one.
All right.
All right, love it. Thank
All right,
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, best album ever, so, you know.
That's right.
Look at-
All right, see ya. All right,
All right, there it is. There it is.
So let us know what you think or what your
Well,
songs are.
Yeah, let us know. There it is.
Episode 17.
Peace.